Welcome to another episode of Secret Archives. Today, we're diving into the electrifying legend of Thor, the Norse god of thunder. With his mighty hammer Mjolnir, booming storms, and heroic battles against giants and monsters, Thor stands as one of the most iconic gods in mythology. Origins of Thor, the son of Odin. Thor is the son of Odin, the All-Father, and Jord, the personification of the earth. This unique parentage made him a god of both strength and nature. While Odin was wise, strategic, and deeply tied to magic, Thor was the embodiment of raw power, valor, and action. Unlike his father, who was often depicted as a mysterious wanderer seeking knowledge, Thor was a straightforward warrior, revered by common folk for his protection against chaos and destruction. In Norse mythology, Thor was not just a god of thunder, he was also the protector of both gods and humans. His role was to defend Asgard, the celestial realm of the gods, and Midgard, the realm of men, from terrifying giants and dark forces that constantly threatened their existence. Mjolnir, the hammer of legends. Thor's most famous weapon, the hammer Mjolnir, was crafted by the dwarven brothers Sindri and Brokr. This weapon was not just a tool of destruction, it was a symbol of protection, consecration, and strength. The hammer was so powerful that it could level mountains, summon storms, and even revive the dead. However, Mjolnir had one flaw. It was slightly shorter than expected due to a trick played by the mischievous Loki during its forging. Despite this, Mjolnir became the ultimate weapon in Thor's battles. It was used not only in combat but also in sacred rituals, such as blessings and marriages. It was a symbol of divine power and protection, reinforcing Thor's role as a guardian of order against the forces of chaos. Thor's battles and heroic deeds. Thor's legends are filled with epic battles that showcase his immense strength and courage. He faced monstrous foes like the Midgard serpent Jormungandr, the powerful giant Hrungnir, and the trickster god Loki himself in various contests of might and wit. Thor versus Jormungandr. One of Thor's most famous battles was against Jormungandr, the massive serpent that encircled the world. The prophecy foretold that Thor and Jormungandr would face each other during Ragnarok, the end of days. But before that final battle, Thor encountered the serpent in a fishing expedition, where he nearly killed it, but was forced to let it go. This battle foreshadowed their destined clash in the apocalypse. Thor versus Hrungnir. Thor also fought the stone-skinned giant Hrungnir, who challenged the gods to a duel. With his hammer, Thor crushed the giant, but a fragment of Hrungnir's weapon lodged into Thor's skull. This wound, though painful, became a mark of his bravery and endurance. Thor's journey to Utgard-Loki. In one of the more amusing tales, Thor, along with Loki, traveled to the land of giants, Utgard. There, the giant king Utgard-Loki tricked Thor into impossible contests. Thor attempted to drink from a horn that was secretly connected to the ocean, wrestled an old woman who was actually old age itself, and tried to lift a cat that was actually Jormungandr in disguise. Though Thor seemingly lost these challenges, Utgard-Loki later admitted that his strength was far greater than any giant had ever seen. Thor's rivalry with Loki, the cunning trickster god, had a complicated relationship with Thor. At times, they were allies, going on adventures together. However, Loki's mischievous nature often led to conflicts, and eventually he became a full-fledged enemy of the gods. Loki was responsible for many of Thor's misfortunes, including the theft of Mjolnir by the giant Thrym, who demanded Freyja's hand in marriage in exchange for the hammer's return. To retrieve it, Thor disguised himself as Freyja, attended the wedding feast, and once Mjolnir was placed in his hands as part of the ceremony, he slaughtered Thrym and his kin. However, Loki's most significant betrayal came when he orchestrated the death of Balder, the beloved god of light. This act sealed Loki's fate, leading to his eventual imprisonment and setting the stage for his role in Ragnarok. Thor's role in Ragnarok. Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the gods, was the ultimate test of Thor's might. During this apocalyptic battle, Thor fought his greatest foe, Jormungandr. After an intense struggle, Thor finally slew the world serpent, but in doing so, he was poisoned by its venom. Though victorious, Thor took 9 steps before succumbing to the serpent's deadly bite, falling as one of the many casualties of Ragnarok. His death marked the end of an era, but Norse mythology suggests that after the destruction, a new world would rise, and some of the surviving gods, including Thor's sons, would help rebuild it. The symbolism of Thor in Norse culture. Thor was more than just a god of thunder. He was a symbol of protection, strength, and honor. The Vikings worshipped him as their champion, calling upon his name before battles and wearing Mjolnir pendants for protection. His myths conveyed moral lessons about bravery, loyalty, and standing against overwhelming odds. Unlike Odin, who relied on wisdom and strategy, Thor represented direct action and resilience, a hero who fought for his people with unwavering determination. Thor and the farmers. Unlike Odin, who was favored by kings and warriors, Thor was the god of the common people. Farmers, sailors, and craftsmen saw him as their guardian, believing he blessed their lands with rain and fertility. Thor's chariot. Thor rode a chariot pulled by 2 magical goats, Tangrisnir and Tangnjoster. He could kill and eat them, only for them to be resurrected the next day as long as their bones remained unbroken. Thor's belt and gloves. Apart from Mjolnir, Thor wielded two other powerful artifacts: Megingjord, a belt that doubled his strength, and Jarngriper, iron gloves that allowed him to handle his hammer with precision. Thor in other mythologies. Thor's attributes and legends resemble those of gods in other cultures, such as Zeus in Greek mythology or Indra in Hindu traditions, both of whom wielded thunderbolts and ruled over storms. The Christianization of Thor. As Christianity spread across Scandinavia, Thor's worship persisted. Many Viking warriors continued to wear Mjolnir amulets even after converting to Christianity, showing how deeply ingrained he was in their culture. Thor's enduring legacy. Thor's influence extends far beyond mythology. From his depiction in Viking carvings and medieval texts to his modern resurgence in comic books and movies, Thor has remained an enduring symbol of heroism and power. The Norse god of thunder has been reimagined in various forms, most notably in Marvel's portrayal, where he is an avenger wielding Mjolnir and fighting alongside heroes to protect the universe. While these adaptations take creative liberties, they keep the spirit of Thor alive, an indomitable force standing against darkness. Whether as a warrior against giants, a guardian of Midgard, or an inspiration for modern storytelling, Thor's legend continues to capture our imaginations. His stories remind us that true strength comes not just from power, but from the will to protect those who cannot protect themselves. And so, as the thunder rumbles in the distance and the storms roll in, one thing remains certain: Thor's legacy is eternal, echoing through time like the crack of his mighty hammer, Mjolnir.